reflections of a heartbroken father and a farewell to a beloved daughter. Not a single member of my family, Anele's family, will have ever associated Anele with suicide. It never arose. Living would not have been Anele's challenge. On the contrary, Anele loved herself so much. She wanted to live more rather than less. As Anele's father, I hereby state categorically that Anele was neither sweet nor did she commit. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand the forces that put us in a situation that we find ourselves. Of course, we must, as a matter of extreme priority, deal with the scourge that bedevils our youth. Alcohol, which is overused, and drugs, especially if we envisage our youth contributing meaningfully to our nation building and economic development efforts. Fellow South Africans, we had better wake up and smell the coffee. We have a serious problem with substance abuse, and add to that other social ills, then we are in a crisis. If there's a notion that must be dispelled once and for all, it is that your child comes of age at 21. Legal capacity and maturity aside, but the virtual umbilical cord must be nourished at all times. We must strengthen the bonds and create bigger space for meaningful engagement with our children, even beyond the age of 21. This star will twinkle in our hearts way beyond the grave. In closing, Kenan, I think I know what you're going through. I know the pain that you're feeling. In the face of extreme emotional pain, bigger women and men resort to all sorts of remedies, or what they consider to be remedies. My son, I invite you to turn to the Lord, and in so doing, you'll be assured of becoming a much better man. Psalm 121 says, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Ngiphakamisela amehlo ami ezintabeni, usizo lwami luvela phi na? Usizo lwami luvela kuJehova owenzile izulu nomhlaba. Akayikuvuma ukuba unyalo wakho lushelele, okulondolozayo akayiwozela. Bheka, olonda uIsrael akozeli, akalali. uJehova ungumlondi wakho, uJehova ungumthunzi wakho, ngasesandleni sakho sokunene. Ilanga ayikushaya emini nenyanga ebusuku. uJehova uyakulondoloza ebubini bonke, uyakulonda umphefumulo wakho. uJehova uyakulondoloza ukuphuma kwakho nokungena kwakho kusukela kulesi sikhathi kuze kube phakade. Amen. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Masa, for all those who do not know me. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining us on yet another video. And if it is your first time here, you're very much welcomed on this channel. Please do collude your bike and feel at home. Now, if you have not subscribed, I do kindly ask that you click the subscribe button, you like, comment and share. Doing so is free and you do help this channel grow in numbers. And also I do kindly ask that you watch the ads. I know they can be boring, but I do kindly ask that you watch the ads because they do help this channel grow financially. And by doing all this, you do motivate me as well to keep coming back on this case, discussing this case, what I think about new developments that have been found with regards to the AKA and Tibes murder case. So in this video, I want us to look into Mr. Moses Tembe. So the internet has been buzzing, social network has been up and down, accusing him of being the mastermind behind the death of AKA and Tibes. Now, just to remind you that before, in 2021, AKA was married customarily, or let me say he had a fiancée, Anele Tembe, who allegedly fell from the 10th floor at the Pepper Club Hotel in Cape Town in April 2021. Now, in the room, it was just herself and AKA. And AKA still stands that Anele Tembe took her life. However, Anele Tembe's family believes that she did not take her life because she was not someone who had such intentions. Now, a lot of things have been coming up. I also saw a screenshot, I will put it here, of an alleged conversation between AKA and Anele Tembe's dad, calling out Anele about the fact that they'll have a family meeting, with regards to Anele. Seemingly she was someone who did not have a good behavior. Now, the reason, let me talk about the reason I think people, in fact, the reason why people are actually, trying to involve Anele Tembe's dad, saying that he is the mastermind. It is because of the words that he said. I will try and put up the video, but it is when during Anele's funeral, her dad mentioned that she did not take her life. She had no intentions of taking her life. So according to him, Anele's life was taken by somebody. And Anele's dad just did not want to accept that his daughter would take her life, because I'm just assuming, because maybe of the things that he as the dad has been doing for the child. So he's probably confused. Why would she want to take her life with the life that she's living, when you're coming from a good family? Because Mr. Tembe is said to be a very rich man. So when you're coming from a rich family, why would you want to take your life? I think maybe that's the perspective that the dad has. So Anele Tembe's dad did request an inquest with regards to how their daughter passed on. So they wanted everything to be investigated. However, the NPA failed them, according to them, when it comes to that. They say that the NPA followed rumors when it comes to Anele's passing. They followed false statements, and they ignored the critical evidence which could have changed the outcome. So they say that they should have, according to some people, in fact, according to the videos and pictures that came out that day, Anele Tembe and AKA had a fight. So I think those are the things that the family wanted the NPA to look into. But the NPA failed. So the family opened a case against the NPA for having failed to prosecute AKA when he was still alive. Now, the NPA says that they had no grounds of prosecution against AKA. Now, there's this pending case, there's this case against the NPA that has been opened by the Tembe family because they feel like there's been no justice for their child. And I want to say this, right? I know a lot of people will come for me when it comes to this, but Anele Tembe's family also deserve justice. In as much as justice is needed for AKA and Tibbs, it is the same with Anele as well. There needs to be justice. The family needs to be satisfied that indeed this is what the NPA did. The investigations were done, so that they can actually rest, because these people actually lost their daughter at the age of 23 years. So they had a 10 years difference between herself and AKA. So she still deserves justice as well. Now, Ntsikimaziwai went on to Twitter and at the X app, and she was talking about this, that, hands off Moses Tembe with all these allegations, because he's still grieving his child. And I do want to say, so I do agree with Ntsikimaziwai that let us allow the court, the police, to do their job instead of pointing fingers, because we don't really know what happened with AKA. We don't really know who followed AKA, because I saw a tweet, and even last year I did see this news, that AKA was involved in other dealings. He had shares. I don't know how true that is. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot that is coming up. Instead of pointing fingers at people, in social networks, because you can't go around writing things on the internet, thinking that you will survive. No one will open a case against you. People can actually take the things that you write on social networks and they can open a case against you, because Anele's dead. Can't just go onto the X app or Facebook, and open a case against anyone who accuses him of being involved in the matter of AKA. I hope this just makes sense. Now, I just want to say this: both families, in fact, not both families, three of those families, all families, they deserve justice. We should not take away that, and we should not say when the other person is grieving and take it light that they're grieving. And I think this is because AKA was loved. That is reality. Tibbs was loved. These were celebrities. But just because Anele Tembe was not a celebrity, it doesn't mean that her family does not deserve justice. I think one of the things that could have been done was to push for the NPA, the very same spirit that we have when AKA was still alive. We could have pushed for the fact that the investigating team needs to do their job and investigate how Anele actually, passed on, because it was the two of them in the room. And it is alleged also that she's someone who has wanted to take her life before, on other occasions, but her dad still stands and says no. And, with parents, one of the things that I would like to say is that you can still raise a child and want them to turn out to be, to be this type of person. But if a child does not want to, they will not be what you think they will be. Because Anele Tembe's dad also mentioned the issue of, this yobisi, and I'm not going to use that term, this yobisi, those white things that people put, And he also talked about the fact that kids do, alcohol, the wrong things. So I think he also needs to understand that his daughter might have been, might have wanted to take her life. So he should not paint her daughter as this person who lived. Yes, she lived a happy life, but it doesn't mean that she did not have problems. But I'm just going to end this video here. Just tell me what you think. And I'm just warning you guys, the things that we write on the social networks, it is very important that we take, we don't take them light, because those things can actually come against us, But anyway, thanks so much for watching until the end. I will see you on my next video. I hope that you have liked this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end.